The official reveal for EA Sports FC is happening later this month. But before all of that happens, we're going to go through absolutely everything that you should know. But before we do get into the video, if you're still going through FIFA 23 and you want to take advantage of the last few months, then there is no better place than SkyCoach. SkyCoach offers cheap, fast and reliable FIFA 23 coins so that you don't need to be grinding during these times. Instead, it's all about having fun. There is a link in the description down below, and if you use Fnatic at checkout, you'll also be able to get yourself a 10% discount.
Nice.
EA Sports FC is the new name for FIFA. Well, technically. EA is still developing a football game, but it's no longer in partnership with FIFA. You're probably aware of all of this because it was announced this time last year. The new name is now called EA Sports FC, which is going to be revealed with everything later this month. But based on leaks, we already know quite a bit, and we're going to try and cram absolutely everything within this video. So firstly, even though there is a name change, it's still more or less the same game. It's just a name partnership split, so that EA can no longer use the FIFA name, as well as the licenses that come with it. But EA themselves have built up separate licenses so that they can still use the most popular and favorite leagues, and they can still have the game modes which will still be available. That means career mode, Volta, Ultimate Team, Pro Clubs, pretty much everything that you know about FIFA will be within EA Sports FC. Let's talk about career mode. Career mode in recent years, and when I say recent years, we're more talking about the last 10 years, has been somewhat neglected. Every single year, EA would release a lot of information, news, updates to Ultimate Team, but every other game mode within the game gets absolutely shafted. This year, it looks like career mode is getting a fairly big overhaul, being that it will no longer just be a standard career mode, but it will be an online career mode. Now, this has been speculated for quite a long while, the last couple of years, because there was a job application that went out back in 2020, 2021, which required an online specialist for career mode. Many believed that this was happening for FIFA 21, FIFA 22, FIFA 23, but never happened. Now, these leaks are back, pointing to EA Sports FC. Alongside this, Volta is supposedly going to have a massive revamp. At first, it was looking like Volta was going to be axed from EA Sports FC. It just didn't really bring in that many players. And with FIFA 23, they actually merged Volta and Pro Clubs together into more or less one game mode. They still had their unique aspects, but it all came under a seasonal challenge between the two of them. This was to make it more appealing to the masses. But really, it didn't do anything too crazy. It somewhat worked, but at the same time, it somewhat didn't. Now, it was believed that Volta was going to be removed from the game, as it just didn't really suit what players were looking for. People wanted the old school FIFA Street game, which was played and loved by millions, but it just didn't really come through in Volta. But with this, it does sound like EA are going to give it one more try, and they're going to push a new type of style for EA Sports FC. Really trying to push it away from what everyone knows, not so much loves, but knows with FIFA. Pro Clubs is not really getting the same amount of love. I honestly believe that Pro Clubs could be one of the best game modes within football, just in general. Any type of football game. And I genuinely believe that Pro Clubs could be the future of esports if done correctly, but it just doesn't get any attention, and it does look like this year is going to be no different. The big change for Pro Clubs, whereas Volta is supposed to get a complete revamp, online career mode is completely different to what everyone knows about previous career modes, but Pro Clubs is getting crossplay. That's supposedly the only leak so far. Now, with each and every single one of these game modes that we've gone through, there are a limited amount of leaks, and it's hard to tell of whether or not there just aren't that many changes, which does sound to be the case for Pro Clubs. I honestly believe in terms of Volta and online career mode that people are just very silent on this. Whereas Ultimate Team, there's a lot of leaks. There's the generic stuff that everyone expects. New types of cards, this being new icons, new heroes. It's likely we'll get one-to-watches at the beginning of the year. All of that stuff, they're going to be new cards within the game. But there's some cards that players didn't expect, and this is women in foot. Now, I say they didn't expect, we all knew at some point EA were pushing for this. It started back in FIFA 15, FIFA 16, somewhere around there, where women were first introduced to FIFA, and it was expected that they were going to be released into Ultimate Team or have their own separate Ultimate Team, considering that Ultimate Team is the big money maker. But that never really happened up until EA Sports FC. Now with this, they are all in just one Ultimate Team. It's not a separate one, which means within just one game mode, you will be able to have male and female players. And it's likely that even though you will be able to have them both within the same Ultimate Team to play the likes of division rivals, maybe even going into your FUT champions and your weekend leagues, all of that, there won't be any restrictions. There probably will be some separate game modes in terms of like your friendlies, where there'll be tournaments for male or female players. With the female players, they'll also have their own card system. Of course, bronze, silver, and gold, each of those being common and then rare. And then there'll also be special cards, likely Team of the Weeks, and we already know that there'll be some icons. How much further this goes, we're not entirely too sure. Based on EA's website, we know what type of leagues are already confirmed to be in FIFA for women's football, but it is still a fraction of what's available for men's teams. And based on this huge difference, I would assume that it would still be fairly male dominated. If there was to be dedicated female Team of the Weeks, Team of the Seasons, Team of the Years, female players with every single promo, eventually it'll just be the point of every female player has several cards each, probably get into like some of the highest rated players within game. So it'll be interesting to see how EA handles this, if there is a huge difference between the amount of male players compared to the amount of female players within game. But I think this is a good start, and hopefully as years go on, they'll expand upon this. And apparently also alongside this, there's new women football modes, which we still don't 100% know. Whether or not that could be within Ultimate Team itself, so there is a split, or whether or not it's outside of Ultimate Team and just other types of game modes, which only include women's football. Sticking to Ultimate Team though, we also need to talk about the transfer market. The transfer market in itself has been said to have a massive overhaul. New ways and better ways, more efficient ways in which you can search for the players that you're looking for. And to complement this, there is also supposed to be a new dynamic pack system. A pack system similar to the likes of Apex. Apex, if you open up a certain amount of crates and you get nothing, eventually once you hit that threshold, you are guaranteed an heirloom. And it's supposedly going to be a similar case for Ultimate Team. If you open loads of packs and get nothing, at some point you're guaranteed to get something good. Now, because I've been playing FIFA for a very long time, I feel like I do know EA, and I feel like this is also them just being nice to call it a dynamic pack system and highlight the positives of what this could be. But my mind instantly goes to, well, if I open up a pack and get something good immediately, then my next 100 packs are most likely going to be awful. So even though they've said a new dynamic pack system which is there to help players, still not 100% believe in that as of yet, and still won't until the release of EA Sports FC. Going on to some of the smaller details, there is supposedly a new trait system for Ultimate Team. The trait system that we currently have in terms of boosting stats is okay. It's worked for quite some time, but it has also been quite some time. EA wants to update this, and with this there will be new traits available within EA Sports FC for Ultimate Team, which will allow you to improve certain players depending on the overall team. And these ones are supposed to be much more open to variables. And what I mean by that is that it's not just linked to your team's chemistry, it could also be the lack of chemistry. Some of these traits will boost chem for players to gain them a +1, a +2. If you have players all from the same league, they can get boosts, but if you also have players where they have no links to teams or country mates, then they can also get a +2 or 3, depending what else is around them. There are quite a few traits that have already been leaked so far, and there's also supposedly to be a lot more on top of this. Bring in new ways in which you can play and adapt your playstyle. We also heard that position change system will also be changing in EA Sports FC. Not so much a completely new system, but more or less removing them. Right now, for you to change a player, you will need to go and get a position modifier, apply that to a card, and then that will change them from their preferred position to their alternative position, or vice versa. This is supposedly changing that you'll no longer need to buy a position modifier. Instead, you just go over to the player, select them, and then change their position. We're not sure whether or not there'll be a set fee to actually change a player's position where you'll need to spend coins, or whether or not you could just go over and change them. Personal preference, you should just be able to go over and change them. We've also heard about a new system called Ultimate Team Academy, and this will allow you to have upgradable paths as you take a relatively low rated player and gradually increase their ratings as you complete challenges. Now this system is compared to what is already over in NBA 2K. They've had this for quite some time. And we've also seen something similar within FIFA itself, where you would be able to go through objectives. You complete an objective, you unlock a card, and then by completing more objectives with that card, you can unlock a higher version. The difference between this is that you don't unlock additional cards with Ultimate Team Academy. Instead, that card will be upgraded and the challenges will be associated to that card within game. It will be assist a certain amount, score a certain amount, get a certain amount of slide tackles, run a certain distance, whatever it may be. It could honestly be anything. And by using it, you'll then upgrade them. And it's said that these players will be tradable at first until you upgrade them for the very first time, in which they'll be untradeable. So this could potentially link to players that you'll be able to pack, sell on if you want. If not, you can upgrade them. Now these are the details that we know about so far. This has all come from leaks, so take it with a pinch of salt that things could potentially change between now, the reveal, and likewise the reveal to the full release. Ultimate Team already has quite a lot of changes just based on these leaks, but we're hoping that EA puts more attention into career mode and also pro clubs. Me personally, not too bothered about Volta, but I also hope for those that are interested in Volta that you guys also get the changes that you want as well. Let us know in the comment section down below if you're excited for any of these changes or disappointed for that matter. Anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going. So see ya.